So here we go again on our own, doing another mock draft 69.0 version. Actually, that may not be too far off, but we're going to do a 32-team one-rounder, no trades, just get after it and seize the day. So first off for the Bengals. Now, can they screw this up? I think it actually is probably possible that they do, but Joe Burrow, I mean, just the clear-cut, easy-peasy number one overall pick. I mean, our 10 commandments that we did the other day. Number one, don't pass on a franchise quarterback. Do that up. Washington now, certainly interesting. Now, Chase Young, BPA, probably is the best player in this draft. Washington, they're actually pretty good in terms of edge rushers, in terms of the front seven. But, I mean, how can you pass? Like, how can you pass on Chase Young? This would make a lot of sense for a team that, if they really do want to attack Valoa, go up and go get him at 2. Washington could potentially move down. But, I mean, Chase Young, just straight up. There you go. All right, so now the Lions. Lions could get nuts here. I mean, are they completely sold long-term with Matthew Stafford? I don't think that those Stafford trade rumors were completely made up out of whole cloth, unlike the OBJ ones. But, yeah, so could they go QB here? Sure. Could they go Simmons here? That would make a lot of sense. But I think just straight up getting Akuda and replacing Darius Slay makes just way too much sense. But, yeah, drafts that make too much sense, I don't like, because let's get nuts in here. Yeah. All right, so now the Giants. Offensive line, protecting Daniel Jones. He was the number one pressure quarterback in the NFL last year. Would make a lot of sense. But do we start just going off the board here? I mean, Derek Brown on the defensive interior. Dave Gettleman does love him. Some just straight up beefy meat and potatoes type dudes. Does it happen? I mean, Isaiah Simmons would be a lot of fun, too. I mean, just playing on the back end of that defense, linebacker, safety, whatever it is. There you go. Actually, no, let's get nuts. Gettleman, let's get nuts. 5, the Dolphins. So now they have the choice of Tua or Justin Herbert. Laundry's done. They could go Brown here. They go on one of the big offensive linemen since they haven't really replaced Tunsil or Jawan James. So I just don't see how, if Tua gets to 5, if they could just pass. Now, the Chargers, are they completely sold on Herbert? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe they're fully in love with Tua Tagovailoa. So the fact that he goes, maybe they go a different direction. They still need offensive tackle help because they haven't sutured up that right side yet. Plus, they do need to replace Russell Okung now. So could Wirfs play some left side? Certainly could. Becton, they go just completely gamble on the physical upside guy? I say they do. Go and gamble. Do your thing, Chargers. Do your thing. Now, with the Panthers here, I mean, you just have amazingness falling to you. So they go Henderson, could make sense. They go Brown, makes a ton of sense. They go Kinlaw, keep the local kid in the Carolinas. But yeah, I'm gonna go Derek Brown, just a paint by numbers, really rock solid defensive interior lineman for the Panthers. Now the Cardinals, I mean, there has been talk that they go wide receiver here. I'm not completely sold on that. The fact that they just have an atrocious offensive line, I mean, I don't think that they go wide receiver with Nuke, with Fitz, with Christian Kirk. Or they could be like, well, Larry Fitzgerald is really old. But, I mean, they have Butler. They have Andy Isabella. They drafted like 4 wide receivers last year. So just don't overthink it. Andrew Thomas, tackle, you're going to be good to go. There you go. All right, so now the Jaguars. And they said that they're committed to Gardner Minshew, which maybe they are, maybe they aren't. But, I mean, if Herbert gets to 9, it would be super, super tempting to go all up in it. So I think they do. They're in a bit of a makeover. They're getting out of the Tom Coughlin 2.0 era. So there you go. Browns at 10. So tackle is obviously the biggest need for them. Wirfs or Wills, you could sort of take your pick here. I'm going to go with Wills. I think he does project a little bit better as a left tackle than Wirfs does. So Jedrick Wills going to the Browns. Jets at 11. So now, do we kick off the wide receiver run? It's possible, but I mean, if Wirfs gets to 11, that would be really hard to pass up. So protecting Sam Darnold's ass from getting mono or the Rona, probably be susceptible to the Rona too. He goes at 11. So the top 4 offensive tackles are off the board already. So that's bad news for the Vikings on the back end, but it is what it is. 12. So the Raiders. Would it make sense for a wide receiver here? I wouldn't be shocked if they go back-to-back wide receiver, to be honest, because they are bereft of talent there. I mean, after they got rid of Amari Cooper, it's just like, what what is going on here. So gonna go with Jerry Jeudy. For me, he is still the wide receiver one in this draft. San Francisco, now they could go wide receiver for sure. They could go cornerback as well, because I mean Richard Sherman, and then it's a bunch of slappies on the other side. But they do need to replace Emmanuel Sanders. I do like Jalen Hurd. I do like Kendrick Bourne. Obviously, love Deebo Samuel. But man, this is tough. This is really, really tough. Could they go Kinlaw here? I mean, the pick that they got for Buckner, could they pick a guy on the defensive interior? Yeah, let's get nuts. Let's go Kinlaw. There we go. Kinlaw going to the Niners, just completely ignoring everything, whatever. So now the Bucs at 14. So the top 4 tackles are gone, which much to their chagrin. Obviously would have taken one of them. But, I mean, now wide receiver is not really a big position need with Godwin and Evans, but you know. Do they reach here? Do they go Josh Jones a little bit early? Would not be shocking me at all. This would make a lot of sense if they were going to be trading out here. But, I mean, did they go Henderson? That doesn't really make a lot of sense, though. They are pretty good on the back end. All right, well, we're just going to... They're going to do whatever they can to protect Tom Brady. So it is a little bit early for Josh Jones, for sure. Upside there, for sure. I fully understand that pick. So 15. So if you're the freaking Broncos and you're looking for a running mate, a Batman to go with Cortland Sutton's Batman, 2 Batmans, and now you have the choice between Ruggs and Lamb. I mean, how lucky are you? How lucky are you? I think stylistically, I think Sutton and Lamb cross over quite a bit. So just give me the speedster. Give me Henry Ruggs III. Go Cortland Sutton. Pair up a Drew Lock. Maybe John Elway doesn't screw this one up. So there you go. Now the Falcons. The fact that there's been some talk that the Falcons could move up, try and get a premier cornerback, and then C.J. Henderson just falls into the lap. I mean, yeah, must be nice. Must be nice. Cowboys now. All right, so they've seen a couple of the corners go. They're forever looking for edge help. Chasen is there, but I just feel like they just go a little bit off the menu. They go YGM, a little bit of Yetur Gross-Matos from Penn State. There you go. Now, so the Dolphins, they got Tua. So you get the house, you got to pay for the insurance. So now, do they reach? I mean, do they reach for an offensive lineman? I mean, Austin Jackson is still on board. Ezra Cleveland is still there. Isaiah Wilson, who's been a bit of a late riser in this draft, I think they do. I think they do. So Isaiah Wilson, Andrew Thomas's partner in crime over at Georgia. Welcome on in, Florida-Georgia line. There you go. So now the Raiders, like we said, I mean, they already got Jeudy. And the fact that this draft broke down, that they can get Jeudy and Lamb, my goodness, Marcus Mariota is going to have a ton of great targets. So there you go. So the Raiders get Jeudy and Lamb. I mean, how amazing is that? Amazing, right? So 20, Jaguars back on the board. So they got the QB of the future and Justin Herbert there. Sorry, don't laugh. So now, cornerback for sure. Could be a need. Interior defensive lineman. I mean, this is a relatively thin class. Could obviously go edge. Could go wide receiver too. Actually, I think going out, because they got DJ Chark, who's a nice outside receiver, getting a slot receiver in Justin Jefferson, just being that BFF for Justin Herbert makes a lot of sense for the Jaguars. The Eagles up at 21. So now Jefferson off the board, that really stinks. Could they go Mims here? Could they go Higgins? Could they go Rieger? Could they go Ayuk? That would make a lot of sense. But, I mean, the fact that the linebackers haven't been touched yet. So they go Queen. They could go Murray. Welcome on Queen. Slay Queen for the Eagles. Now, 22 in the Vikings. So this is kind of a not ideal situation for the Vikings. So not only is the top 5 tackles gone, wide receiver's been pretty well picked over. So cornerback makes a lot of sense. Christian Fulton still on board. We put Fulton and Gladney and Jalen Johnson pretty close together. So, I mean, a lot of options here. Chasen makes a lot of sense too if you just want to go straight BPA. Man, this is tough. Like, given the depth of wide receiver in this class, I'm going to pass on that for now. Probably at 25 as well. But Chasen is just too tempting. So the Vikings go BPA here, get Clavon Chasen on. Now, the Patriots. So, Could have been in a quarterback, sure. Is it a little bit too early for Jordan Love? Maybe it's not Belichick's cup of tea, which would be fine. Wide receiver is still a need, even though, and Keel Harry is not great. Could they go running back here? Maybe. No, probably not. But just in terms of edge guys, so it would have been nice if they would have gotten Chasen, but Epinesa just does seem like a full-on rock-solid, like Rob Ninkovich-esque type Patriot dude, just learning the Patriot way. Now for the Saints, cornerback obviously always going to be a need. Could they go Fulton here, keep the kid in state? That would make sense. Kenneth Murray would also make a ton of sense here as well. Maybe they do go Jordan Love. Like maybe they're not sold on 39-year-old Taysom Hill being the heir apparent to Drew Brees. Or maybe they go wide receiver here. Actually, this is going to be the fun draft. So there you go. Denzel Mims. So Michael Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, Denzel Mims, as well as Traquan Smith. Why the hell not? So the Vikings back up. So they went BPA. They got Clavon Chase on. Like we said, we are going to wait on wide receiver because I think there's going to be a lot of value day 2, day 3. I would like to go offensive line. Do you necessarily force it here? I really love Ezra Cleveland. Do you go Gladney? Do you go Fulton here? So that is a bit of the conundrum of going BPA, even though we are always generally on team BPA. The Vikings have a couple clear positions of need. Do you go Cleveland? Do you go Ruiz here? Do you go Gladney? Do you go Christian Fulton? Grabbing offensive line help day 2 is going to be extremely paramount, and as well as wide receiver. So I think you may be pigeonholed to going for position in need round 2. Day 2 as well, but just getting Jeff Gladney in here. I love Gladney. I love Fulton. I love Jalen Johnson. The fact that they get both of them, just really is huge. Absolutely huge for the Vikings. So the Vikings, come away with Clavon Chason as well as Jeff Gladney, just really suturing up that defense. I'm in. So Dolphins back up. So the Dolphins got Isaiah Wilson as well as Tua. So check there. And it's going to go full-on offense, full-on rebuild on the offensive side. So Cesar Ruiz coming in on that interior offensive line, as well as you have Wilson kicking out in one of the tackle spots. You're golden. 27. So Zach Bond could make sense. I think they really would have gone with Cesar Ruiz if he was there. Do they go Ezra Cleveland at this stage? Maybe not. They do have Lockett. They do have DK Metcalf. Could they add a third receiver? Could Jalen Reagor come in and just be nuts for them? It's possible. But Zach Bond, just meat and potatoes, paint by numbers edge coming in for the Seahawks, just adding to that front seven makes sense. Next up, so the fact that Kenneth Murray just falls into the laps of the Ravens really pisses me off, but it is what it is. So the Titans need some D-line help. Also could use a tackle since they lost on Jack Conklin. Now, this is a spot where Ezra Cleveland wouldn't make a lot of sense because schematically, the Titans are much more. But betting on the upside of, say, an Austin Jackson, could they go that route? He's not really like a right tackle, though. Is what it is. There you go. Austin Jackson, welcome Tennessee, welcome Nashville. There you go. Now the Packers, stupid Packers and their stupid faces, just they get the run of either Jalen Reagor or Ayuk or KJ Hamler. Man, that does suck. They could go cornerback as well. Christian Fulton is just on the board chilling. They could go Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Actually, no, screw it. Tool time. There you go. JTT staying in the state of Wisconsin. Because so Jonathan Taylor Thomas as well as Aaron Jones. That's a pretty nice duo. So the Niners back up again. So they picked up Kinlaw, and they still are blessed because Fulton just falls to 31. There you go. Now the Chiefs. Could they go? Gallimore a little bit early. They could go Dobbins. That would make a lot of sense. The fact that the safeties haven't been touched yet is intriguing. Could they go Jordan Love? No, just kidding. Yeah. All right, J.K. Dobbins, come on in. You are actually a running back taking the first round of this draft. So there you go. All right, so that is it. We did a one-round mock draft, just sort of having a lot of fun there. Burrow goes 1, Chase Young 2. You're here for the whole draft. Overall, Vikings getting Chase on, going BPA 22. I like it. Hefe Gladney, just a super aggro alpha dog out there. Ball hawk, cornerback from TCU. So if Vikings come away with this in the first round, I like it. I'm in. but also offensive line, wide receiver, got to be hammering out on day 2. But what are your thoughts? Let us know in the comment section below. Mock Draft 69.0, son. Shoot. Also, subscribe for daily Vikings takes. You want to support the work, pull us on the Venmo. Plus, give us a follow on social media as well. But until next time, Skull, production value.